Alright, yeah, thank you for all being here. For me, I've always, I felt like ever since growing up here in this country that after facing discrimination for so long, I always felt like it was important to have a voice. It was important to stand up and speak up from our perspectives and to represent who we are and to also be a part of this community and this society here. And so for me, I'm a poet, I'm a writer, and this is a way for me to express how I feel about this case, this whole situation. And this poem is called In the Memory of Injustice, and I just wanted to share this with everyone that's here. But before I do that, I actually, 10 years ago when I was in junior high school, there was another Hmong teenager that was shot in the back, and he had a screwdriver, I believe, at the time. And I remember at that time there wasn't anything done about it. He passed away, and there wasn't enough. And I felt like I wish I could have done something back then, but I was too young and I didn't know enough. And 10 years later, this incident happened, and I just really felt like now is our time. It's important for us to stand up and to fight for this. And I'm really inspired by the family because, you know, when stuff like this happens to our Hmong families, we think about how do we put food on the table? You know, how do we feed our family? How do we survive? It's so hard for us to take it even further and take it to court. And this, you know, it's been petitioned so many times and denied. And I think that I'm really inspired by the family, how they're really sticking to this case and taking it to the Supreme Court. So I want everybody to just give it up for the family of Fong Lee. It just shows how strong they are, and we have to really rally behind them. So this is my poem. In the memory of injustice, in the memory of Fong Lee, in the memory of all victims of police brutality, in the memory of a tragedy translated to travesty, in the memory of a planted gun, police and sons caught under the sun, the videotape was lost and they thought it was all done. They were wrong. 3 shots in the back, 5 shots on the ground. 1 son down, bleeding all around. His generation are the grandsons of a secret army that sacrificed to save the backs of soldiers, and shooting teenagers in the back would never achieve a medal of bravery unless they thought he was a refugee from Southeast. The police pull over Civics and Toyotas at the rate of heartbeats of monkeys that get beat down at the side of small streets. But Fong Lee was on a bike unarmed before his life was stolen and broken with bullet holes. As the spokes of his bicycle spun in circles, we have spoken up to break the cycle of the circus. This case makes me believe that these cops perceive us as less than human beings and worthless. In the memory of injustice, in the memory of Fong Lee, in the memory of all victims of police brutality, in the memory of a tragedy translated to tragedy, in the memory of a planted gun, police and sons lost under the sun. The videotape was lost and they thought it was all done. They were wrong. Remember when Minneapolis, when cops were at the wrong house by mistake and put those little kids' lives at stake and still got a medal from the station for being brave? I wonder what it takes for men with badges to earn a medal of valor these days. We don't feel protected and safe when policemen with swine pen mentalities think outside of the fence instead of doing dirt with bloodstains on shirts that leave family casualties. But you know what's really corrupt? When the police chief cooperates to cover it all up. We scream for justice to force the whole force to give it up. In the memory of injustice, in the memory of Fong Lee, in the memory of all victims of police brutality, in the memory of a tragedy translated to travesty, in the memory of a planted gun, police and sons lost under the sun. The videotape was lost and we thought it was all done. They were wrong. More than ever, unite movements together for every community that had their hearts ripped open from the core by wild boars in blue uniforms with no conscience of violence. We will not be silent to sirens of cyanide on our side of the city, because it's not injustice for just us. There's a whole history of this corruption, in the memory of injustice, in the memory of Fong Lee, in the memory of all victims of police brutality, in the memory of a tragedy translated to travesty, in the memory of a planted gun, police and sons lost under the sun. The videotape was lost and they thought it was all done. They were wrong. Dedicated to the family of Fong Lee and all victims of police brutality. Rest in peace. Thank you.
Everyone give it up for Du Psycho. That was great. Wow. So our speaker up next is L Flowers. He's a community activist too, and he works with the. Are you still with the Urban League?
No, I ain't with the Urban League.
Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon. I just want to say to the Fong Lee family that to keep fighting. We living in a state, you know, as an African American, we done got kind of used to it. We done got used to the brutality. We done got used to what they're doing to us. But we living in a state where the gang strike force was going in people's houses, these are police going in people's houses, taking their stuff and taking their cars, taking jewelry, taking TVs, and then when it came down to prosecute them, the county attorney said he couldn't find a reason to charge him. That's Mike Freeman. So when you see all this stuff that happens, it's no wonder it's happening. It came to you guys. But so we said some statements about the people united can never be defeated. That's what we all have to do. And I'm glad it's a variety of people here. It's just not the Hmong community that came out to support the Lee family. In the African American community, we totally support this effort from the NAACP. He told me to deliver a message that's the National Advancement of Colored People, that they are in full support of Booker Hodges, that they are in full support of making sure justice is served. So I just to the Lee family to continue to fight, and the people that's out here to continue to support them, because they don't want you to keep talking about it. They don't want you to keep talking about it. The poet just said the police chief had to help them cover it up. But this is a state that they've never been found guilty of doing anything. So it's just not true. We have to, this state, no police have ever been really found guilty of doing anything or killing anybody. So we have to take it on and come together as community and fight back against, it's really the government. It's really the mayor, the city council. Those people know it's injustice, but they have to defend the city even when it's wrong, and it shouldn't be that way. So to this family, to the Hmong community, just know that the African American community is in full support of y'all getting justice, and we will stay that way. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Al one more time, Al Flowers. When I say we want, you say justice. We want. Justice. We want. Justice. We are going to bring someone that has been working really hard to make this happen from the Justice for Fong Lee Committee. We have Eva Song. Give it up for